Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about the Golden State Warriors. Obviously, they just won the NBA Finals, and if I had to make a prediction right here, right now, I would go ahead and predict them going back to back. Now, that's a very hard thing to do in every single sport, but I'm still going with the Golden State Warriors as it stands right now, and it really isn't rocket science. I know they did lose some important pieces, guys like Gary Payton. They lost Otto Porter Jr., and those are two unfortunate losses, but me specifically, obviously you got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, Kevon Looney. Your same starting five is returning. You have young, just studs. If we're just being transparent, you have young studs, man. Jordan Poole. I think Moses Moody is going to have a huge impact this upcoming season. You have Jonathan Kuminga, who played in almost every single game for the Dubs last season. You're definitely going to see an increased role from him. You have a healthy James Wiseman returning. Then you also went out there and you made some moves, getting Dante DiVincenzo, who we'll talk about a little later on in the video. You went out there, you got JaMychal Green. Two very solid gets. You also had a good draft, Patrick Baldwin Jr. You have some enticing players down there a little bit deeper, guys like Mac McClung. Hopefully he gets I'm hoping they get him in at least like half of their games this upcoming season. I think he's really solid. But before we get into this video, man, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. So, the Dubs, here's my thing, man. Last year was pretty interesting, actually, for Golden State, because you had Draymond Green get injured, like not midway through, but kind of midway through. I mean, Draymond Green and the Golden State Warriors were the number one ranked defense. They finished the season as the second best defense in the NBA. They were missing Dre for 2.5 months. 2.5 months. Now, at 8-7-7, this is no longer Draymond was never really a stat stuffer or, anything too crazy on the box score. You're not going to complain with 8-7-7. The impact is past the stats. It's past the box score. I think we all know this, right? We've all been watching Draymond Green for year after year after year. It doesn't matter what Dre's stats look like at the end of a night. You know his impact. And so you're trying to tell me, they missed him for 2.5 months. 2.5 months, man. That's a big deal. He was well on his way to win Depoy. Well on his way to win Depoy. And they didn't have too much size this past season. You do have Otto Porter Jr. I wouldn't consider him tall. Draymond Green got injured. You did have Bjelica. That was another, I guess, tough loss for Golden State, but it's not that tough. Kevon Looney really held it down for him, but they made it work. They make it work. So what happens? Well, you get him back in, mid-March, and Steph Curry gets injured. Marcus Smart, Boston Celtics, Steph Curry goes down, and he won't return until the start of the playoffs. So you're thinking to yourself, Golden State's really good, but, they really haven't been fully healthy for half a season. Are they going to be able? We know they have chemistry. We know they have the skill. Are they going to be able to get back? The answer was yes. And when I look at the Golden State Warriors for this upcoming season, all I am thinking in my head right now is I need a healthy Steph, I need a healthy Klay, and I need a healthy Dre. And all I'm doing all regular season is I'm limiting these guys when I need to limit them. I am being proactive. I'm being safe. I don't care who you're playing. I don't care who's in town. If somebody's got a tweak, sit them. Sit them. If Draymond Green tweaked his ankle, I'm sitting them. Now, it's not that dire, it's not that big of a deal, but the point is this. Golden State Warriors, no matter who's on their bench, their starting lineup is still the exact same, and that is a starting lineup that just won them the championship. Now, I honestly don't even know if the Warriors offseason is done here. That's another thing. I don't know if they're going to go out and try and get Boogie. I don't know if they're going to try and get a more solidified backup point guard, maybe a guy like Facu or Eric Bledsoe. I'm going to go ahead and bank that Andre Iguodala comes back for another season to try and get another ring and just get some more run. He doesn't want to be a Udonis Haslem. He also doesn't want to be a player coach. So that's my thing this season. I need my big three healthy because Kevon Looney is one of the most consistent longevity. He is Mr. Consistent. Kevon Looney played in every single game this past season, and you can rely on him to stay healthy, and he'll do his job. 6 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, block. Nothing crazy on the stat sheet, but if you're a Golden Warrior fan or if you're just watch Golden State Warriors, you know he is very impactful to this team. Andrew Wiggins to me is a huge X factor, and that is exactly what we saw in the postseason. This guy he didn't double his rebounds, but he essentially almost averaged like 17 and 10. I mean, he was rock solid for them. He's a great offensive player, but in the postseason, this guy could clamp anybody. In the regular season, he can clamp anybody. So when I'm thinking about the Golden State Warriors right now, I'm literally just looking to continue to build chemistry, because that's the thing with the Golden State Warriors. When you go out and you make moves and you get new guys, you need to make sure that they're unselfish. You need to make sure that they're willing to play in the system and they're willing to just do their role. And when I look at Donte DiVincenzo and JaMychal Green, who are kind of the two big additions when you lost Bjelica, you lost Gary Payton, you lost Otto Porter Jr. I know JaMychal Green isn't too crazy. I know Donte DiVincenzo isn't too crazy, but these are great bench pieces for them to have. When I first saw Donte DiVincenzo's goal to Golden State, I was like, wow. Sacramento let him walk. I was very surprised Sacramento didn't bring him back, and they ended up making the moves to get Kevin Huerter and Malik Monk, so it all works out for them. But the one possible criticism you can look at for this team is backup point guard and maybe like bench depth, but I think that's taking a very big... I think you're being... If you say the Warriors have bench depth, I think you're severely underestimating who they have on their team. Jordan Poole almost won Most Improved. I mean, there's a very good argument that Jordan Poole should have just won Most Improved. 19 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. You have new addition Donte DiVincenzo, who averaged 3.5 assists with the Sacramento Kings this past season. So my best guess is that both of those two cats, maybe you do see Mac McClung. Maybe we even see... what's his face? Not Mac McClung. A little bit of Patrick Baldwin Jr., although I think he's more suited for a wing role. I know he's listed as a guard, but I think he's more suited for a wing role. We'll see what happens with Pat Spencer. I don't feel too great about that. Sorry, Pat. I don't trust Northwestern sport players in any sport. So their backup point guard issues, they had the same issues last year. So that was not an issue last year. I don't see it being an issue this year. And Mac McClung is an extremely talented, I think him going to Golden State, I don't know what in the hell the Lakers were doing letting him walk, especially going to Golden State, but Golden State got a little hidden gem in Mac McClung. You got guys like Moses Moody, who I know Moses only averaged 4 points this past season. He didn't play too much. I am 100% confident that he is fully possible for a Jordan Poole breakout season. I don't know if it'll quite happen yet because he is very young. Jordan Poole spent a bunch of time kind of mixing back and forth with the G League and the Warriors until he had this breakout season. So Moody, Kuminga, Wiseman, they're probably at least a year away from really showing crazy consistent flashes. You'll see a bunch of flashes from Kuminga. I mean, he played in, like I said, almost every game for him this past season with, it's not like he averaged more than 20 a night minutes-wise, but definitely had a role on that team. So my thing is this, they're a really solid, obviously you got the starters, they're a really solid bench in general, and if you have a breakout season from either Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, or James Wiseman like we saw with Jordan Poole this last year, it's even more over. If you are just healthy and one of those 3 players breaks out, this is, to me, a walk in the park for the Golden State Warriors getting back to the NBA Finals at the least. So let me know what you guys think down below. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.